they're supposed to be the defenders of the medium. You know, they're supposed to be defenders of the art, but yet they never talk about it.
A fandom is a community, and a community, they're defined by people contributing to the health of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like as far as like building up the numbers, being good representatives of the thing, making products that fan art and stuff like that. Like all of that is exactly what a fandom is supposed to fucking do, and like encourage other people, to do content, just based on the inspired for inspiration's sake, not inspired because of spite. You know what I mean? That's the only product that you end up getting out of this. And it's like, considering how large these fucking numbers are that these channels get, you would think there would be more possible than just a few short films of bullshit by that Epicverse apparently gonna maybe do someday. There should be more art coming out of these communities if they were actual fandoms. Haha, got it.
Damn, nice.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
It just comes out.
I was made for this.
Hello there. How are you, stranger? Let me adjust my microphone here really quickly, just very quickly. There, that should be better. Hey everybody. We got Came the Dawn. I've been calling you Come the Dawn like present tense orgasm. It's really like past tense orgasm. I see. Lucifer. Still haven't changed your name to Pussy Grey Daughter, I see. Not first. Hey, a man that knows his place. Well, I mean, okay. That is a way to measure time, I suppose, if one chooses to do so. Second loser, fuck yeah. Whoa, one of the best live chats in social media. Oh, yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. The thumbnail. What was the inspiration? Are you talking about the Blade thumbnail? Excuse me, sorry. The inspiration was a article that I read this morning that made me have a strong feeling about the Blade film and its production hell. And we're going to talk about that because I got some thoughts. So here's the thing. Okay. And at one point I had a drop for that. Do I still have that? Huh. Do I not really have? I don't have a here's the thing in here anymore. What the fuck am I? I'm slipping, man. Excuse me. I am slipping. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Okay. Well, look, here's the thing. When it comes to making this Blade movie, I think that the best, for those not aware, it's lost its third director, I believe. It was announced in 2019. I've learned a little bit more details about how the movie came about, and that's what informed my opinion that I just think they should just pass on it for now. Like maybe come circle back around in a few years or something like that. But like, just cut it off, just kill it, you know. And I don't normally have like an opinion like that. It feels weird to have that opinion, but you know, I love the MCU. I generally think that the Marvel Studios has figured out the best way for them to operate. You know, even whenever they've had some misses, they normally recover pretty quickly. But there's just like this ongoing fucking stank with this movie, and whenever we get into the details of it, maybe you guys didn't know this either, like I didn't. But some of the details make me think, yeah, it's kind of rotten from the core, maybe. You know what I mean? They didn't want a current deus. Okay, so here's the thing. Damn it, I don't fucking have the fucking arg. Exactly, Daniel. Will you guys begrudge me if I take a minute to go find my here's the thing? I got a clip right here you can watch in the meantime. But it's really important to me. My OCD, ADHD is telling me I need this. So check this out. These are not serious people to be taken seriously. Oh, that's not the thing. Never mind. Forget that. Fuck that. That's not even... Fuck. Wow. I am slipping, man. I'm slipping. It was going to be a period piece in the first iteration, I believe. And then it was changed to not being a period piece. It was originally... We'll get into it. I got an article that's got all the deets, guys. All the deets. We're going to fucking suckle on those deets. Sorry. In the meantime, while I'm looking for that thing, here's what you can check out. I got merch. Guys, merch. You guys heard of the little platoon YouTuber? Littlest platoon? Little platoon? You might have missed this. This is an upload that's going up probably this weekend or something, but check this out.
Because I don't know who this is. This is going to be, I'm going to have the Tipper Gore experience.
So, yeah, Pillar of Garbage posted this. It was like I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's kind of wild. So this guy, Rick, points out to, this is a little platoon here. Long form media reviews and analysis. There's a YouTube channel. They're wasting character space by having all of that.
Yeah, you could do a URL shortener. They're handy. They're great.
And that's them, like literally a pretentious little cartoon character. So, and he made a video about, I guess Godzilla versus Kong, or Godzilla X Kong, whatever, and probably talked a lot of shit on it. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't either.
Well,
I was supposed to, and then I didn't get a chance to. So, c'est la vie.
So here he is doing anti-trans shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's playing the hits.
You know, and these three, just a fucking the trinity of shit bags right here. Speaking of bags, I talk about her sometimes. She sucks, man.
Yeah, does she? I don't know anything about her.
She is obviously a female. I guess she's I don't know where she's from. She's a person of color. I'll say that. I don't know what to speculate on exactly where she's from, but she's not white. And I think and she's just made, like, for instance, her video I remember the title of is called "The Problem with Non-Binary." Is a video title of hers.
Oh.
And she's basically just saying the same shit that these guys all say.
Right, yeah, it's just regurgitating the same fucking bullshit we've been hearing about since 2015. Got it.
So I guess he did like maybe a premiere for reviewing this shit or whatever he does.
Sure.
I mean, as you can see, Shinigami Eyes has him as red here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have not watched any of their content. I have not even seen the take that we're going to be looking at because I just trust Pillar of Garbage implicitly.
All right, so we're both going to have the Tipper Gore experience.
We're having a Tipper Gore experience here.
I need like the shittiest wine.
So, reminder that you say that racism and slavery is a fabrication by BLM. You delete any comments in your YouTube videos criticizing you and say people are R-words if they correct you that Asian people in the film aren't Indians. So let's, I guess, listen to this. Looks like a clip from the video that might say some stuff. Content advisory, I guess.
Yeah, for
See, at this point, I think humans of this world will be well advised just to take down all their landmarks. Maybe the BLM people are right, even if they don't realize it. They might think they're tearing down statues because of like invented claims of racism and slavery, but what they're accidentally doing is saving all of America from being attacked by giant monsters. Because if you leave the landmarks up, you're just inviting the likes of Roland Emmerich and Michael Bay and whoever the fucking hack made this film to come and just kill all of them and everyone who lives. See, at this point,
Aren't you reviewing that movie, guy? You're a movie guy. You're reviewing the movie.
This is how you know that somebody's like actually not prioritizing the film and the story and being a film reviewer is whenever they talk about a movie plot at like an accepted plot, like giant monsters, kaiju, like you know that's what this movie is about, and yet you're criticizing the very premise of it as
Maybe
if
you just don't like kaiju movies,
right? But you might have missed it. It's said kind of quickly there that BLM is invented claims of racism and slavery.
Will be well advised just to take down all their landmarks. Maybe the BLM people are right, even if they don't realize it. They might think they're tearing down statues because of like invented claims of racism and slavery, but what they're accidentally doing is saving all of America from being attacked by giant monsters.
Yikes. All right, so I'm seeing some hot takes here. All right. Let's not get into hot take back and forth. If we actually have the best chat on social media or one of the best chats on social media, then we're not going to do that. We're not going to get distracted by our opinions on goddamn movies and then like be like, no, that's my favorite. You don't like it, I don't like you, and that kind of stuff. Okay, let's not do that. Because at the end of the day,
like here's the thing.
Okay. So it took me so long was I was trying to find. I have one of Pillar of Garbage too, because he says it in his videos. Have you guys noticed that? We do that independent. Like we did that independently of one another because we're just great minds think alike, I guess. His think's better than mine because clearly he's got a more successful channel than me. So his mind is greater. I'll give him that. However, when it comes to like really obvious puns that nerds might make on YouTube videos, Here's the Thing is one of them. And I was watching his videos and I was just like, holy shit, he does it too. And he literally shows a picture of the thing. Mine's a little bit more involved usually, but nonetheless, I've got Pillar of Garbage saying, here's the thing. I've got Blurred saying it. And then I've got a few different versions of like, here's the thing. Or we can go, here's the thing.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm hard as a rock.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Have I talked to DJ? I have talked to him before, yes. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him. He covered the Blade movie on his channel for 3 weeks straight. What? Okay, so let's get into this Blade situation. By the way, tonight, for those of you that haven't heard already, who the subject is, I am going to be doing a Chud stream tonight, and it's a specific Chud that it's a long time coming. I'll say that it's been a long time coming that these guys get talked about. They deserve it. They deserve to be called out exactly for what I'm calling them out for. I'm surprised that people don't call them out for this more often, and I'm going to do it. I'm not only going to call it out, and I'm going to make a claim. I'm going to back it the fuck up tonight. Okay, it's probably going to be the best Chud stream I've done in quite some time, because I'll be honest, I haven't done a lot of like research and like doing a lot of diligence whenever I've covered Chuds in a while. Normally, it's pretty superficial coverage lately. I still think my superficial coverage is, generally useful, and I will stand by, anything that I have said, unless someone presents me with something I forgot that I said, then I might, retract that, but I can't think of anything that I would retract. At 5 a.m.? No, not 5 a.m. That's crazy. So, I want to fix my my background situation here because I don't like this. There we go. Sorry. Get this situation here. Get that going. Cool. And then, how we doing? How we looking? Looking all right? All right. Yeah, if you haven't heard, what is this? It's all like glitching out of my ear and shit. Weird. Stop it. If you didn't hear me announce who the subject of tonight's stream is going to be, then I will announce that later in this stream. And that's the way I think I'm going to do it from now on. I'm not going to advertise beforehand what chuds I'm going to be covering on Friday nights. Because I don't want to just, especially the guys like tonight that I'm covering, they're known to just like roam around and show up on streams and stuff. And look, I don't want to have anything to do with them. This isn't about, I don't want to have an interaction with these people. I want to lay out the analysis that I have and not have them fucking obfuscate and bullshit and distract and deflect. And you can't call me a fucking coward that, oh, you're scared of them or something, because I've already talked to these people on stream. So now it's time to analyze, observe, and report. Okay? Yeah. So there's a Hollywood Reporter article from yesterday. Why Blade can't cut through development hell. Just going to go ahead and throw that up here on the old screen-a-rooski so you guys can read along with me. Okay. By Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch today. Hampered by strikes and a changing studio strategy, Marvel's Mahershala Ali starring vampire thriller is a case study in stops and starts. Now, let me explain first my background context on Blade. I have a lot of appreciation for the Blade character. I have a lot of appreciation for the Blade trilogy, even Trinity to a degree. I don't think it's as awful as some people make it out to be. But so I have two older brothers, as I've talked about before, and they got me into comics and stuff. And in the same year that Blade came out, just right before Blade came out, the first one, our mother passed away, and my oldest brother, the one that was older than me and my older brother, who I hadn't seen in like a decade, whenever my mom died, he, obviously came down from where he was living and back to the hometown, and the weekend of the funeral and everything, the three of us went and saw Blade, and we didn't know what to expect, and we were fucking blown away. And it was like that left an impression on me, because obviously hadn't hung out with my brother for quite some time. The three of us together, it's a milestone. As well as the movie itself just being a really good time, and we fucking loved it, and we like nerded out and talked about that shit for quite a while after. So that's my personal subjective connection to the first Blade film, which obviously made it have an effect ongoing. Blade 2 is an incredibly fun movie. It's probably just overall the best one. Because obviously it's fucking Guillermo del Toro directing that, and you can see a lot of the stuff that he went on to be known for in that movie as well, and I love it. Yes, that's it. Why didn't they think of that? Come on, guys. And then Blade Trinity is Blade Trinity. It's got its problems. I will say that, Ryan Reynolds starring as Deadpool. I didn't expect that in that movie, but there he is. He's basically Deadpool. There's some really funny Ryan Reynolds moments in there, and I can understand why Snipes might have been like a little bit like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I'm Blade. This is a Blade movie. Who is this guy making all the jokes? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yes. And you know what else is a line from Blade Trinity is I just farted and I ate a lot of garlic or whatever. Like, yeah, Jordan Peele would be interesting. I'm sure he wouldn't do it. Why would he want to do that? Well, look, they'd seen. I'm not going to sit here fucking defend New Line, but I mean, I imagine their logic was they had seen vampire movies and they had seen The Matrix, and that's basically, or I guess The Matrix wasn't out yet, was it? Nah, never mind. Screw that. Blade did it first. God damn it, Matrix. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that they're just like trying to dump a bunch of money at his feet, but nonetheless, okay. So let's get into why I just wanted to set that up, my subjective relationship to Blade, not because I'm not like, oh, I don't want another Blade because those are special to me. No, I'd love to have another Blade movie that even is better than those. Like, as part of the MCU, I want that shit. It's not some weird, like, I don't want anything new or something like that. It's not the reason that I say what the title of the stream up is. It's because I just think that this movie is being made for kind of the wrong reasons. And I think that that's just kind of the stain that's on it. It's going to, it's, or maybe not a stain, but like an anchor holding it back. And so we'll get into that now. So what do I mean? What is it about? That's about this movie in particular that is the first movie I've ever called for within the MCU to just not be made, at least right now. I think they need to stop. Leave it alone. So Marvel Studios keeps trying to unsheath Blade, but the vampire thriller is stuck in its scabbard. The latest setback occurred in recent weeks when the feature lost director Jan Demange, I hope that's how it's said, the second Helmer, to exit the project. Some sources say both sides grew frustrated by Blade's he's just Braid now. Blade's prolonged development process. Star Mahershala Ali, and just for context there, I fucking love Mahershala Ali. He's an amazing, fantastic, terrific actor. Just amazing, awesome. He's awesome. However, he's kind of the problem here. What? Yeah. He's said to be increasingly frustrated. And this is where it starts to get into stuff I was not aware of until this. He's been attached to the project since 2019. He handpicked Demange after the project lost director Bassam Tariq in September 22. And at the time, Blade was in pre-production and about 2 months from principal photography. But Marvel came to believe that Tariq was not the best fit for the project, according to sources. So the first false start was Marvel, apparently. Said, this is not the right guy for it. That's a respectable choice to make if they felt that way. They then presented Ali with a list of directors for consideration. But he conducted his own search after having concerns that the list largely featured filmmakers who were untested at the big studio level. So here you've got the star saying, yeah, you got your list here, but I'm going to do my own looking, and I'm going to pick somebody because I don't think you guys are fucking making a good, you didn't give me a good list here. These people don't have enough experience. Right? And so how is it that this guy gets to make that call? Well, because of a literal call that he made after he won an Academy Award for Green Book back in whatever year that was. So basically, he won an Academy Award for Green Book, and the first thing he did basically was like, "Oh, I got fucking clout now," and he called up Marvel and was like, I want to be Blade. This is the genesis of this Blade project. Is Mahershala Ali just fucking fueled by an Oscar win and deciding, I'm going to be Blade now. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him to be Blade. And I mean, you're Marvel, right? Like, what are you going to do? Say no to the Oscar winner that just called you and said you want to be Blade? But let's think about the things that are in going against Blade. You know, no matter who is doing it, there's a big elephant in the room. You know, the Blade films, the 3 originals Blade films, they established what Blade is. Blade before that, those movies, was not cool. He was not anything anybody really even knew of for the most part. But those movies really established a very specific character and a specific set of, you know, just things that are associated with Blade. And whether you read him in the current comic books, he's been in a lot of Avengers comics and stuff, and right now in Blood Hunt, just right before that, and I think it was Brian Edward Hill, writer. His run, like basically all of these are almost exactly the same thing as Wesley Snipes' Blade. He maybe gets a little bit more dynamic personality in certain, you know, writers' hands and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's just everything is what's established from those movies that was then made into the Blade that we know in the comics, right? So just right there, you've got that looming large, because you have 2 choices really. You can either pay homage to that and just basically make the same kind of movie with the same take on Blade that's not very interesting, and you know what I mean, or you veer wildly. Either one of those seem like they could be alienating, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anybody see what I'm saying there? If I just want to know if I'm completely off base with this. But like, I think that is a real fucking problem. This movie has to kind of contend with, and I don't think it's impossible. I don't think that they can't do it. I just think that coupled with all of the problems that they've had trying to get it going, and they're not even knowing what the movie is about, and you know, we'll get more into that a little bit. I just think it's too much bullshit, and I think because it started with such a kind of ego moment is really what it seemed, you know. And when I tell you this next thing, man, you might, if you don't already kind of see what I'm saying and agree with me, you might now. Mahershala Ali sees Blade as his Black Panther. Mahershala Ali sees Blade as his Black Panther. And Blade is a lot of things. Blade is cool. Blade is awesome. You know, give Blade credit for being the first, you know, the first like mainstream successful Black superhero-ish. She's not really a superhero, but you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. What did Michael Rosenbaum say? What? What about? What am I missing there? I mean, yeah, that's true. He is currently a vampire, yes. In Blood Hunt. Oh, I see. Michael Rosenbaum says Marvel cut a lot out from his Guardians of the Galaxy role. I don't doubt it. I like this Russell Crowe quote, though. I've got a shit ton of regrets. Is one of them going on Critical Drinker's show? Because, in case you guys weren't aware, Russell Crowe did an interview with the Critical Drinker at one point. Okay, so no, it's not a joke. And I think that they should not do this Blade movie right now. I think that they should kind of just take this moment to be like, all right, this is clearly not working right now. We've had too many false starts. We don't know what the script is. We don't even know the setting. Or I guess they do now, but like originally it was going to be a period piece set in the 1920s. Now it's not. Now it's going to be in the modern era. And it's like, yeah, let's get further into this so you guys hear all the nonsense. Yeah, so Ali conducted his own search after having concerns that the list largely featured filmmakers who were untested at the studio level. Ali has at times exercised an inordinate amount of influence over the project in a way few other actors have on Marvel movies. Part of it stems from Blade's inception, which began when Ali called the studio after winning an Oscar for his work on Green Book, and he said he wanted to do Blade. Ali has envisioned Blade as his Black Panther, according to sources. Dimage's Blade was batting its wings toward a shoot starting in May 2023, and it hired yet another writer. True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto, also an Ali pick. So the writer now is someone that Mahershala Ali has chosen to bring the script over the finish line. You know, it just starts to feel a lot like partly a bit like how the Edward Norton situation went, where it's like Edward Norton was like, oh, this is my fucking project. This is my fucking movie. Yeah, exactly. Mark Question came up with it right as I was saying it, dude. Yeah, and Marvel, you know, in my opinion, look, I love Ed Norton. He's one of my favorite actors, period. But they made the right call. I don't think these movies should be any one person's kind of like ego project, right? Unless it's maybe the director. I don't know. So, but it was all for naught as the writer's strike, then the actor's strike, shut the movie down. And then one agent said people have missed about 3 windows to shoot other movies or shows. They can't be that resistant because they're trying to it's pretty obvious that they're already trying to establish a legacy character for Blade in the comics. Currently in Blood Hunt, the main, seemingly the central protagonist of Blood Hunt is Blade's daughter, Bloodline. Literally her name. Let's see. Unlike several other Marvel projects that were shut down and then restarted, including Deadpool and Wolverine and Thunderbolts, Blade instead let most of its actors go. So that's like, why? I guess because they weren't far enough along to really justify holding them. But yeah, they let a lot of the actors go during the strikes. They got rid of Delroy Lindo, man. What the fuck? How are you going to lose Delroy Lindo? Shit. And Aaron Pierre, I'm not sure who that is, and went through more writers. Marvel hired Michael Green in November, right after Dimage left. Go-to Marvel writer Eric Pearson, who was pleased with the studio with recent work in Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, jumped in. It's been such a long road that memes of an aged Ali at the far in the future premiere of Blade took over social media. You know. In fact, let me go ahead and add this here. Made this today. It's in the thumbnail, so you've seen it, but just to, yeah. That's what he's going to look like. Because I don't know if you guys know this. Fuck, Blade. Get out of fucking... Well, dude. Get your fucking ass out of my face. Come on, man. Mahershala Ali is almost 50 years old. And that's not saying anything that, like, Blade can't be, you know, an older guy or anything like that. It's just that Blade should be doing some pretty badass combat moves, I feel like. And I don't know if maybe 50 is the best age for that. Yeah. Dude, I mean, they had the perfect opportunity with Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night was so fucking good, and I feel like they should have just seized on that and like kind of exploded the supernatural stuff out of that. True, Nick Fury, but I mean, think about that's another thing. Another thing about this Wesley Snipes movies, and then like following that up is, dude, Snipes was a fucking stone cold beast in those movies. He kicked ass. Like, he legitimately did a whole lot of his own fighting and stunts and stuff like that. And you know, anything, I don't know. It's going to be hard to live up to that. What are you talking about? Wait. We're not talking about Disney. We're talking about Marvel, man. Why is everybody got to bring up Disney? You sound like chuds when you do that, man. Did you realize that Marvel Studios, they act almost entirely, you know, they have an autonomous fucking thing going. Like, seriously, hold on one second. I'll show you something. Okay. This right here. Oh, man. It's not going to let me show it. God damn it. It's the story of Marvel Studios. Okay, is what it is. It's two giant fucking books that go into the details of the creation of pretty much everything from Iron Man to, I think Far From Home is the last one, or maybe not. But point being that there's a lot of autonomy that's allowed there. But I mean, Disney owns both of them. So like that doesn't actually distinguish them, and it's actually inaccurate. Oh God, yeah, man. Jesus. Can I tell you guys about something that I really wish that I still had, and I lost it in some move or something? I think it might have been like lost in a storage shed or some shit one time. After Blade came out, the first movie, I went to go rent a movie one day, and yeah, so video rental stores. This was 1998, 99 or something. I go into my local shop, my local video rental store, which was not a Blockbuster. I would go to Blockbuster if I was like looking for certain things or whatever, but like there's a little mom and pop shop, video store near my house back in the day. And I was friendly with like the people that worked there and stuff. Had a crush on the girl that would work there on the weekends. Anyway, on the counter, there was this black box thing, cardboard box that was advertising Blade on video, right? It was like, I don't know, like this wide and about, you know, that's, yeah, the front of it looked, and it had like a fucking clear cellophane kind of window in it, and then a picture of Blade there, and then it had the Blade logo, and you open it up, and it had all kinds of stuff in there, like promotional content is what it was. It was basically scripts for what people on the radio should say to promote the movie and things like that. Just like, you know, the kind of thing that you can't just buy, that's like actually just sent to specific outlets, right? And I asked if I could have it, and they fucking let me. Like, I mean, they had to wait until they were done using it, displaying it and stuff. But when their display cycle was over, they actually called me, and I went and picked it up, and it was fucking awesome. And I had that for several years, and man. Anyways, let's get back to it. Even Wesley Snipes, who played the vampire hunter in a trio of movies, weighed in. He said on Twitter, "Blade, lordy, lordy, lordy." That was what he had to say about it. Ali's attorney, Shelby Weiser, told THR in a recent interview that deal was in 2019, and they still haven't shot it, which is pretty much the craziest thing in my professional experience. They actually don't. Feige is over both of them, man. Like Kevin Feige is in charge of Marvel Comics. He makes the decisions overall. You can look it up. They just did this like a year and a half or 2 years ago, but that's why there's so much stuff like. That's why like a lot of people blamed Kevin Feige for Kamala Khan dying in the comic books last year, because it was pretty obvious that she was being killed off to be brought back as a mutant. And then, they just revealed that in her show and stuff. So like, yeah. Press kit. Thank you. It was a press kit. That's what it was. I don't know why I just didn't say press kit. But that's what it was. The box thing. Press kit had lots of scripts in it and stuff like that. I forget what else it had in there, but it's fucking cool. All right. So yeah, once again, Mahershala Ali's attorney said, "This is pretty much the craziest thing in my professional experience, the fact that they haven't shot the film yet. On top of last year's strikes, Blade was a victim of pandemic delays and Disney's full steam ahead pivot to streaming." Yeah, let's think about that too, right? Which forced Marvel to overproduce and overdevelop its slate. And there wasn't enough attention paid to it. And that's another thing that makes me think, just scrap it for now, man. If y'all weren't prioritizing this and you were instead like, oh, we got to put out all this content on, Disney Plus or whatever, you're not prioritizing it the way that it deserves to be. Kill it. It's a back burner type project, it seems like. And then because it's on the back burner, Mahershala Ali is making all these decisions and nobody's like keeping that in check. It could explain why Blade kept on shifting storylines and plot periods. The version that was aiming to shoot last year was set in the 1920s and featured Mia Goth as a vampire villain named Lilith, who wanted the blood of Blade's daughter. Goth remains attached to star in the project. That's good news. Like if it does get made, then that is a boon to the project, as Mia Goth is pretty awesome. For another iteration under Tariq, Marvel built a massive train set. Why? But it was never used. It may be passed on to a different Disney production. The new take on Blade is said to be present day. Current fucking deus. Okay? Right? Playing Lilith, like, you guys know what she looks like? It's pretty perfect. So Mia Goth as her. It's pretty good. No, I mean, apparently it was in the 1920s for a while, originally. Yeah, I mean, it does sound kind of interesting, right? Like, that would remove Blade from the context of needing to be modern, and then that would be a really easy way to kind of like say, okay, so he's not anything like the Blade we know, because the Blade we know is very, early 2000s, mid 2000s style. Okay, so it's unclear how many millions Marvel has spent on Blade, counting the development and pre-production costs, but it's not stopping now. Marvel has learned in recent years that it does not pay to be rushed into production, and the studio prides itself on having a high development to production ratio, something that eludes most other companies. The new plan calls for the script to be written over the summer and then go out to directors. Marvel chief Kevin Feige holds a special place for Blade, considering the Snipes 1998 movie. He considers the Snipes 1998 movie an eye-opener for him and one of the inspirations for focusing on B-list characters in the early days of Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know if he's I understand that definitely influenced and inspired what he did, but like he kind of did that because he had to. Anyway. As he remarked in 2017, a character nobody heard of at all had only appeared in a few issues of Tomb of Dracula or something, turned into a big franchise. That was always a great lesson for me. where you go, it doesn't matter how well known the character is, it matters how cool the movie is, which is true. So here's a timeline of writers. Scribes who have tried to sharpen blade. You're loving these puns. February 2021, Marvel hires Watchmen writer Stacey Osai Kufur to pen the script for a project that has Oscar winner Mahershala Ali attached to star as the horror hero. Fall 2022, Bo DeMaio, who created X-Men 97, takes his own stab, described as a period piece. So he's the one that did the period piece version. April 2023, the writer's strike looming, Marvel shells out for True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto to write. He worked with Blade star Ali on season 3 of the HBO series. After losing original director Bassam Tariq, Marvel taps Michael Starbury, When They See Us, to write a new script for new director Jan Demange. The studio hires scribe Michael Green, known for well-received genre movies Logan and Blade Runner 2049. Holy shit. Now that's a fucking writer. That's the one I want to see. Honestly, like if I don't know if they're keeping anything that he wrote, man, but like those are two of my literal favorite movies of all time. Logan and Blade Runner 2049. Summer 2024, with Demange exiting as director, Marvel brings in studio mainstay Eric Pearson, who has pushed scripts for Thor Ragnarok, Black Widow, and Fantastic Four over the finish line. I mean, that's basically what he said. He said, it matters how cool the movie is what he said. You know. I mean, Marvel's not going to be wiped out. Like, I don't know where that would come from. I mean, this isn't going to happen. They're not going to make a few years of flops. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of silly to think. Wolverine, Deadpool, Wolverine, whatever. It's probably going to do pretty well. The last guy polishing the previous two guys' script could be magical. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about the previous guy before Michael Green. I know that Nick Pizzolatto has some bad habits with his writing. True. But, at the end of the day, I think there's really only one thing that can be said about this production. Black Adam vibes. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever had, like, can you guys tell me of a movie? Maybe, I'm not saying there's not one, I just can't think of one at all. Tell me a movie that has had this much turnover and drama kind of behind the scenes, and then ended up finally getting made and was fucking awesome. And was fucking awesome. Gotta wait for the last part. It does. It sounds like he's a problem, and that sucks to say because I think he's amazing, and I do want to see his Blade. It's like nothing against him as an actor, but he's acting in sort of a different capacity. Black Panther 2. I mean, that kept the same writer and director though, right? I mean, it just had the whole Chadwick issue. I don't feel like that movie went through as much bullshit, just other than the having to pivot big time because of the loss of its main star. I mean, yeah, it's starting to feel like years have gone by. 6 years, since he signed on for this shit. That's crazy. 5 years, sorry. Kinda. I guess that does a little bit, right? Like I would need to know how much turnover they had on writers and stuff after Edgar Wright, because I feel like a lot of Edgar Wright stuff stayed, and then they just kind of brought in Peyton Reed, who tackled it, right? Yeah, I mean, I keep my mind keeps going to Rogue One a little bit, because like, I mean, that had a big kind of director shakeup, but that's not really the same thing as this. That was like a post-production decisions being made. Like, I mean, I think it's kind of hard, honestly. I would have said the same thing until I started thinking about it after this article. I was like, man, maybe there's a lot more to this than it seems like there should be or would be. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so what I was trying to say is there's really only one thing to be said about this production that describes it, and whether you like me and you think they should kind of just cut it off and maybe circle back around to it a few years from now, something like that. It doesn't matter whether you're excited for this movie or whatever. Like, I think that this really just kind of sums it up.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Truer words, Blade. Truer words. I think the quantum realm stuff is really what was added mostly. Same. I'd much rather it be done right 8 years from now than them just like, come on, we got to keep trying and get it out. We got to keep doing it. Okay, we got, and then just like, because now it seems like what's going to happen is the first director and writer that you end up getting to just stay on because they happen to be the first ones to stay on, right? I don't know. It feels weird. Feels weird, man. What else we got? How you guys doing? Did I make my case pretty well? What do you think? Yeah, so once again, tonight, be streaming. Doing a little streamy poo. Flash Game Fridays. All right, so I got people saying that I sold my point here. Feige, I know you watch, man. Yeah. What up, Smirking Gun? Hey, by the way, Smirking Gun's always got new videos up, man. You guys should check him out if you want to see somebody talking about comics. He's talking about good comics over there on his channel. And then also, let me go ahead and show this guy over here. Oh man, look who happens to be on Friday Night Tights tonight. That's crazy. Because I'm going to be releasing the video that I did about this person like later, I think. It's goddamn I just showed part of the video. The Little Platoon. I can't remember that name ever, but it's really stupid. Little Platoon. Aldous Hodge. I don't know who that is. So, oh yeah, what I was trying to show you is Bob of the oldie ways. Damn, dude, you are hitting some numbers on these fucking videos, bro. Like, and I know that these are all just people that are really giving, praise or at least constructive criticism, right, Bob? I haven't watched Black Adam. Can I tell you guys a secret, though? I hadn't actually watched Dune Part 2 until last night. Considering how much I love Dune, the first one, it's kind of weird. But I just had a really fucking weird, not weird, I've had a really busy year and a lot of adapting has had to take place, adjusting to new life and stuff like that. I was a single guy living alone for several years. And then suddenly I was not that. And I just want to say that Dune Part 2 had a lot of pressure on it, in my opinion. A lot of pressure. I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be able to live up to what I think is a nearly flawless first movie. It's one of the coolest fucking movies I've ever seen. Dune Part 2. Love it. Holy shit. I loved it. Timothée Chalamet, he's not anything special to me until this movie. Now, I'm a Chalamet maniac. But yeah, it's really good. Also, Zendaya is really good in it. Also, I don't know. Everybody's really good in it. I don't think there's anything about the movie that's like, that could be better. It's Villeneuve, or however you say his name. He's fucking incredible, man. Like, I don't know how he does it. He's just that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just that fucking guy. I don't think he's made a bad movie. He's made, at least one that's like, what the fuck? If you've seen Enemy, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, anybody seen that shit? I don't even care. I don't care about that. I mean, yeah, it's a thing that like would have been neat to see, but like it's all in the past. Doesn't matter now. Now we've got what we've got, which I think is incredible. Are you not over 1,000 subs yet, man? What the fuck? 964. We got 43 people watching. Guys, hit up Bob of the Old Ways and hit them subs. Because if you're somebody that thinks that Rings of Power got a raw deal on YouTube, this is your champion, okay? He's your champ. Do it. Do it. Let's see here. Okay. I got a video I'd like to watch a little bit of. Because, it's worth it. Trust me. Oh, man. New fucking Ripperverse bullshit is out. It truly is, man. Like it's just kind of a marvel. Haha, I said Marvel. Sorry. I'm a bit distracted. You guys want me to go ahead and announce who I'm going to be covering tonight? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the name of the stream that's set for tonight. It's set right next to this one. I'm going to change the name. I'm going to add the new thumbnail, and it'll be right there. You can check it out. So let me do that. In the meantime, you can continue watching this. Yikes.
All right, my guy, if you're listening, hi.
But what they're accident.
Invented claims of racism and slavery.
But we well advised just to take down all their landmarks. Maybe the BLM people are right, even if they don't realize it. They might think they're tearing down statues because of like invented claims of racism and slavery, but what they're accidentally doing is saving all of America from being attacked by giant monsters.
Yikes.
All right, my guy, if you're listening, hi. You know what? We had a good piece of advice for someone earlier. I'm going to give that piece of advice to you. What's this? The little, what was his name?
Yeah, his name is the Little Platoon. And then like his name, I think, is Benjamin Morse.
Okay, the Little Platoon.
That's not even like hidden in any way, shape, or form.
Right, he just goes by his name.
I've seen that, yeah.
So the Little Platoon, I'm going to give you a piece of advice we gave someone earlier. Delete your channel.
Yeah.
just do it.
But see, I don't think he's going to because of the fact he also like I saw something about like he seems to like write about pro-Brexit shit and just like
he's a real one. Wow,
yeah,
we got a live
like
one.
He's a MAGA chud, but for over there, overseas MAGA chud
God.
across the pond.
I'm sure his dick is all wet about the cast report or cast review.
God damn the cast report.
So, I gotta take my data, my minute of every show I'm on with you to fucking yell at the New York Times because they just published an opinion piece about how like brave that was. It was brave to reach the opinion you were hired to reach.
Brave to reach that opinion you were hired to reach using sources and criteria and data that's like informed by fucking literal anti-trans shit.
You handpicked what data counts. And also it still like does a really bad job of making the point. Like they could only bend even the data they got to handpick so much in that. And it still makes them look like fucking idiots.
What do you mean? You say crypto conservatives? Do you mean centrists? Centrists? That's what they're.
God damn.
Interest. Man. Yep. So, but that's just one thing. There's several other things in this post. Little Platoon, who is literally currently on Friday Night Shite or Friday Night Whites, whichever you prefer, right now. Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah, we got some trans on the screen right now, Morgan. One of those trans. All right, so here we go. Drum roll for tonight's stream subject. Who's it going to be? I will say that Daniel got it right. Sitch and Adam. They're right. Admit it. They're right. Okay. I'm gonna make my case for them being right. I'm gonna, it's gonna be pretty thorough. I'm gonna lay it down. Exactly, how you can tell that they're right. I mean, it's pretty clear to me, but I don't see enough people saying it. And then, I don't know if you saw the debate that Organized Chaos and I did on Valentine's Day, not this previous, but the one before. It was them. It's them. I can show you a clip. We can watch clips. Let's check it out. In the meantime, while I find those, continue to watch this clip. We could look at. I don't even know what else to expect.
Sure, let's keep it going. I might have to go grab a beer or something.
Okay. If you hear the phrase magical quantum Indian people and your response is, actually, they're magical quantum Vietnamese people, you are the definition of a Monsterverse fan. The synonym for Monsterverse fan begins in R and ends in D.
One, yes, they did, Bob. It's fucking dumb. Two, wow, you're like, guy, you're so boring. You're so
moron bigotry. Like all bigotry is ultimately idiotic, but like this
right,
is just
you are extra dumb. You are like the living meme from 2015. You're
Jumbo. Let's see what else we got here.
oh dumb.
Good. It's this blank Indians. We're doing Indians. I was right. They're here. And apparently these are Vietnamese people in the movie. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Well, in true British colonialist fashion, he calls everyone who's not British an Indian.
Trying to tell us that Indians aren't human. Is that what?
I don't know.
All right, enough of that bullshit. Check this out. This is from Valentine's Day, frickin' 2023. There's a lot of a good amount of backstory that goes into covering these guys. I'm not going to give that right now. I'm just going to present without that some clips from the debate that Bob was challenged to. Well, that's not even the full truth, because they actually were trying to get Bob to show up on their stream and under the guise of just watching a video together. And they would have ambushed him had he not been prepared and aware that they were really just trying to do a debate. And the reason he was aware of that is because I knew who they were and I had some familiarity, and I'll get into all that tonight. Nonetheless, they wanted to talk to Bob, and then Bob was able to bring me because there's two of them. So this is what these guys do. They are anti-woke. They present themselves and I guess say even that they're in the center. They're right. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. They're right. Here is a couple of clips from. They wanted to talk about the MCU in particular because woke. Why is the MCU so woke? Their agendas and all that. They did not, I don't think, anticipate me being me. And if you're going to come at me about the MCU, you better know what the fuck you're talking about. If you're going to come at me about Marvel, you better know what the fuck you're talking about.
Usually when someone says something is woke, the implication is that the story or the movie is embedding some kind of political message in it that the person making the video finds distasteful or doesn't agree with.
Well,
so it just okay.
That's an interesting thing, though.
You take issue with that?
Well, here's a question I have for you. What is then the political message behind She-Hulk?
So I think when people were saying She-Hulk was woke, it was the sense that it seemed to be an anti-male ideas within the show.
But would you consider that a valid criticism? Because there's plenty of positive male role models in that show.
Like who?
Like Daredevil, like Hulk, like Pug, her co-worker. There's plenty. Wong.
So I think Daredevil's the only one I can agree with you. Hulk.
How are the other ones
like a lot of people
negatively?
really?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like in the first episode, which I think is what turned a lot of people off. They have the whole scene where Bruce Banner, who's had to deal with this being the Hulk for 10 years so far in this show, and has to deal with all his anger issues and all this stuff. He's trying to teach her how to basically be Hulk.
Yeah.
And
damn, you got a good memory, Daniel. No, unfortunately, as Sitch will, show us here, I think in this clip, maybe they don't know what a character arc is, or they have a really limited, wrong idea of what it is.
She is basically given the ability to control it right off the bat. And the excuse the show gives for that ability is the fact that by nature of being a woman and having to live in a sexist society, she's been able to control her anger where a man doesn't have to control his anger.
Yeah. And so the thing about that in particular is because this is a common thing that I've heard about that. And like when it happened, I was watching and I saw people getting upset about it. Like, she can just automatically control her anger better. And I'm like, do you guys not realize that at some point in this season, she's going to, this is going to be proven as hubris? Her being that overconfident about it. Which is exactly what the next to last episode, she fucking hulked out and went nuts. And it's like, which is bizarre to me because like Tony Stark is allowed to be, to be overconfident and arrogant and then have his arrogance bite him in his ass. And that's like just a character trait, I suppose. But when it comes to her, it's nope, not allowed. And another thing on the
Tony
trauma
Stark
thing.
is his arrogance, though, is he's not saying like all men can do this kind of thing. He's saying I am great at doing this type of thing. She-Hulk is literally saying like all women have to, control their anger in this way. So it's a much more political message.
But the show, the point of the show was that she was wrong in that moment. She didn't have all under control, and she needed to listen to Bruce a bit more. That was the point of that moment.
And I also just reject the idea that a woman's perspective is political.
Well, no, it wouldn't be because she's a woman, the perspective is political. It'd be by making it based on like all women have X quality. And all men have X quality. That would be.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was making such a declarative statement in that way. That
well, I mean, she framed it that way in that scene. But it's interesting that you said that you think that the audience is supposed to take that as her being egotistical.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was supposed to be taken because it's the beginning of her arc.
Mm-hmm. See, but if that was the case, I think that would be interesting for her character. I don't agree that was the intention of the scene. Because
then why did it show? So it was just written and they forgot they wrote that scene so that whenever later on she did Hulk out and go nuts in public.
Well, when you say Hulk out, so let's compare. You're talking about in episode was it 9? I forget where she like punches
8,
the TV screen. That's what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, scared everybody out of the thing.
Right. So I think there's a substantial difference between like she gets angry because someone's gonna post a revenge porn video of her and she punches the TV screen and kind of loses control for a couple, seconds or a minute. And you compare that to like the Hulk who before he.
Okay. So I wish I would have thought of this then, but like, why does it matter that her hulking out is not the same as she did though? Like you acknowledge that she hulked out and she had an anger, outburst publicly, therefore proving that she was being overconfident in the first episode by just like, oh, I can do this. No problem. Because, it doesn't matter that hers wasn't as big as his Hulk outs, right? Like that's completely irrelevant. It's arbitrary.
He was, merged with Bruce Banner. He was just like literally couldn't really even talk or barely talk, would attack friend and foe, was completely blinded by rage and was just like.
I mean, I definitely think that they maybe did a little bit better once we got out of talking about the MCU, because like after we talked about this one for a minute. And then it gets to a point where, I think Sitch realized that, did we talk about WandaVision first? I forget which one we talked about first. But basically, after a while of whichever one, he was like, let's just talk about the other one now, because he didn't have anywhere he could go with it. And if you notice, one of the tactics that these guys use, we'll talk about it, we'll look at it a little bit more in depth tonight, is that Sitch is typically the one who's actually, if it wasn't for Adam, I would have pretty much enjoyed the conversation we had with Sitch. Even though I think he's really wrong and silly on a couple of things, he's not, I don't know, he doesn't seem to be bad faith, I guess. He doesn't seem to be trying to get a fucking, moment against us, like some kind of gotcha that he can clip. And, whereas Adam, I think that's his entire point, because he's kind of a dipshit. But like when Sitch just kind of gets to a point where he's backed himself into a corner and he can't really, make a good argument anymore, you'll see Adam swoops in and kind of like, does his bullshit. But
this rage monster, to me, I mean, these are two completely different things.
Well, they are, but they're two completely different things. But why does that matter? But for other reasons, because for one thing, she didn't have nearly the gamma dose that he did. I mean, and maybe, I don't know I think it mentions this kind of offhand, but like I'm a old school comics fan, so it comes off clear to me. Like he got blasted with a huge dose of gamma and she got a little bit of blood. Right. Another thing is that like the trauma thing you mentioned about everything he'd been through. It's so, I've got some experience in, trauma recovery, trauma counseling. Mm-hmm. It's weird when people try to like measure trauma. Like it's really bizarre to me because, two people can have the exact same thing happen and one of them take it one way and the other take it the other. And it can be much more debilitating for one or the other. So it's like, it was weird to me when people saying that just because he'd had certain things happen or whatever, that he was just inherently going to have more I don't know. It's just a bunch of weird claims that weren't made in the text.
That was her claim, though, in the scene. That was literally her claim. That the trauma of being a woman granted her control.
But again, we're talking about the beginning of her arc. She's not going to get everything
not the trauma. It's not the trauma. It was the fact that she's had to deal with repressing, certain. And you talk to women, man. I've talked to several of them, and they said, yeah, that's similar to, they've been sexually harassed a lot, and you know what I mean. It is something that you
look. I have a question.
You have to kind of.
I have a question for you. So, like a clear way to see that it's political is that she's espousing a belief. Like she's espousing a belief that the world is a certain way and treats women a certain way. Like if the scene played out where she said, listen, I'm used to dealing with anger because I'm a Christian and Christians always face massive amount of anger and hatred in society. You would obviously say that's a political statement, right?
No.
Well, why are we equating a way a person is born to a belief a person chooses?
Yeah. Imagine a superhero being like, this is what I believe in, and of course there's Superman and truth, justice, and the American way, and then there's also Spider-Man, and with great power comes. You could but to the degree that you can say that She-Hulk saying this is political, you can say Spider-Man is political by saying with great power comes great responsibility. I'd say that's actually more directly connecting to a political thing because, power, right? Literal great power. Who has great power in society? Fucking governments, right? They have the greatest power generally. And then to say that they have power and then they have responsibility is kind of taking a political position. It's definitely not a Randian position. It's the opposite. Exactly. Right. Well, and also I just don't know why we're this default mode of political bad, as if politics didn't exist.
That's a completely different. That's a completely different argument. Yeah.
Right. We weren't saying we hadn't got to the point of whether political messaging in TV shows was good or bad. It was just I said originally that kind of got us on the sidetrack was when people said She-Hulk was woke, they were talking about what they perceived as politics that they disagree with ingrained in the show.
As the same way as if somebody forced Christianity into the show, the Hulk, you would have a bunch of people online going, "Oh my God, the Christians."
That's fucking stupid. Like these guys make me want to slur so bad. They make me want to do fucking ableism, guys. Like I'm trying not to, but this is so stupid, Adam Friend. Fuck, you're an idiot. Trying to force religion into She-Hulk would be pretty stupid, and it would not fit with the source material, which does address being a woman and being a woman superhero and the experiences of women. Like go back and read not just the recent woke comics, but before, back in the day. Like everything that's in this show is generally a lot of it's sourced in, was it the Peter David run? Is that what it was?
They're trying to convert people. The Christians are trying to
I personally trying to convert people. What? Like this has nothing to do with anything in the comics that has come before, and I don't like this because of that. Whereas like the show pretty much nailed it. It's one of the most accurate adaptations in the MCU.
Maybe because the politics are kind of invisible to you in the same way that
they're not invisible. I mean, not in the way. I just think that they're not invisible. I see what you are describing as politics, and I just see it as something. It's a different perspective that's not historically been front and center in popular media, and that's really the distinction that's being called political, in my view, and somehow that's a bad thing. There you go. That's a clip. I got another shorter one. Yeah, I mean that's also very different though, because it's. I mean, I get what you're saying, yes, but like, it also BSG takes some from Mormonism. It also takes some from ancient Greece, and you know, like there's a lot of kind of mishmash of stuff going on in there. But yeah, I think it's removed enough from the you know, actual fucking religious texts and stuff that it gets a pass from me for sure. Right. Yes, exactly. They need to, the people that want to take something like that and say that's political, and therefore, because it's to them, they can instantly just say, well, that's not good then. You know, the people, for some reason, a lot of people have like this knee-jerk reaction to things having a political anything, right? Like, never mind the fact that essentially everything is political. Like I just said about Spider-Man, that's not even a stretch to say. I'm not saying that as like a, oh, if you squint hard enough, then Spider-Man's philosophy is a political one. No, it literally kind of just is one. You know, Steve Ditko, the fucking co-creator of Spider-Man, was an objectivist. He was a Randian fucking acolyte. He was a fucking dipshit. And it's always kind of puzzled me to imagine him drawing Spider-Man. I don't know if he was already like a big objectivist whenever he created Spider-Man. Is that why he quit? Like, I'd love a movie or something that kind of like goes into the details of that whole dynamic between him and Stan Lee in the early days of Spider-Man. Was Ditko just like angry about drawing this character that like literally says the exact opposite of everything that fucking Ayn Rand was about? You know? Yeah, it's really interesting to me. But yeah, people that don't want to, they just don't like certain things. They don't like, because that's ultimately what we're talking about here, guys, is perspectives. That's what they're against. I've got a video about this from a few years ago. You know, when they say it's woke, when they say it's DEI, when they say it's their SJWs and pandering and messages and forced diversity, and whenever they're, you know, all these things, really what they mean is this is a perspective that's not mine, and I don't like it. I don't want it represented, because, you know, ultimately, if these perspectives are represented, that means that people are going to experience empathy for those different perspectives that they might not have had that empathy before. And then it's all over for you know, my hegemony in society, as far as being a cis straight white man or whatever. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, and we'll watch this one more shorter clip, and then this actually is perfect setup for the other video that I'd like to just watch a little bit of before we're done here today. Yeah. Well, I mean, me and Organized Chaos talked about it a bit over on the initiative, the SHILL Clips channel, which you should subscribe to. We're almost at 2,000 subs, guys. Subscribe. There is a video of Bob and I discussing why libertarians can't be superheroes. Essentially, the concept that, you know, being a libertarian, it just clashes at the fundamental level with being a superhero. They don't fucking work. It doesn't work. It's you're sacrificing either being a libertarian or being a superhero if you try to do those two things together. All right.
Is a good example of.
Now we go to WandaVision.
People seeing wokeness in it, because, you know, they would look at the show and they'd say, okay, you have a show where basically the male characters who are more stereotypically masculine are portrayed as evil. You know, you have the evil masculine military general guy, even though he's technically doing the right thing. He's trying to stop you know, Wanda, who's basically being completely evil.
I can't imagine being so fucking insecure with myself and in my position in society or whatever that, like, I'm pissing my pants because I feel like there's not any traditionally masculine characters in a show or whatever. It's like, what are you fucking talking about, man?
And then the men that are considered more good are classically, I hate to use these terms, but are more stereotypically, you know, passive or female in terms of kind of their
they're more passive or female. Like just so much assumptions going on in these things, like these preconceived notions of gender roles. It's absurd to me.
Characteristics and the way that the show basically coddled Wanda, and they even had like a character, I forget her name. It was Captain Marvel character's daughter. Enter in the show and basically make excuses for the fact that Wanda is, basically being a horrible villain, mind controlling, all these people and inflicting horrible pain on them. And when this is called out by the show gives this excuse in the dialogue of like, well, you don't know how much Wanda has lost, as an excuse. And it seems like there's like just this weird attitude towards, gender roles in some of the MCU properties that I think people are picking up on.
I would kind of disagree with a lot of that read.
That's a weird read of WandaVision. I've actually never heard that read before, so it's taking me a moment.
I have a little bit. I've kind of got into it with somebody about it, but like the idea that, no, I don't think that the show excuses what she's done. The show, and very clearly, when you follow up with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that was just the beginning of this arc where she's going, she's losing it. She lost it, dude. Like she is the villain in Doctor Strange. That was just kind of
I'm not disagreeing with that, obviously, but it's a different writer, different director.
See these caveat, these fucking Weasley little things that he'll say to like dismiss what is obviously true. That they, it's a different writer, but do you think they didn't plan it? Do you think they weren't thinking ahead whenever they said we're gonna have Wanda go a little bit nuts in this show? She's still going to be the character that we like. We like her, we follow her, but we're going to kind of be there with her as she's kind of losing it, right? She's going to make some bad choices. Setting up for some really fucking bad choices in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yes, it may be different, literal writers that are scripting the thing, but they have a overall, plan in place, like a general character arc set out, like several movies or projects in advance for these characters.
But I mean, it was the plan.
WandaVision was pretty much set up to be like her villain origin story almost.
Right. And also, it's like to say it's evil. If you want to call it that, that's a way to judge it.
Well, I know you don't like the word evil, but immoral, whatever word you want.
It's definitely immoral. Definitely immoral. Definitely fucked up. I don't think the show at all or anybody is excusing that she mind controlled a bunch of people and stuff like that. I think what it was doing was approaching it with a sense of empathy for her mental state, which is different than if she was literally evil and deciding I'm gonna fucking do this evil shit. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like a villainous intent. It was she didn't fully understand what she was doing, and then once she did, she was just kind of so lost in it. And like I think that's actually a reflection of how sometimes people with mental health issues are treated in the real world. I think that's more what it was commenting on than any kind of gender thing. And also Vision, Vision, he was kind of just moping around a lot when he was in the show, but at the end he had a badass fight with the other Vision. So I don't agree that he was just like not doing anything manly or whatever, but he's a robot, so maybe it shouldn't apply.
Yep. So there you go. There's a couple hours of that conversation. We probably spent about half an hour, 45 minutes on the MCU in particular. But then we got into other shit from there, and it eventually did devolve into some bullshit at the very end, which I will give that whole story, and we can even watch some of that, the sparks fly that ended up happening tonight, as well as a pretty substantial analysis informed by people who were big fans and part of the communities, the community of Adam and Sitch, and no longer are. Okay. So I'm not going to have a literal guest on about this, but I've been speaking with someone who was, from that community and in there for several years and has seen their way out, partly, assisted by my content, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they've been giving me some insight, and it's kind of wild, man. So, with those guys in mind, the fact that they're right, because look, they're right, man. That's look, in case you missed it, that's the stream tonight. Stitch and Adam are right. Admit it, they're right. Okay, so with that in mind, check this out.
pattern that many of us lefty content creators had already suspected, it appears that YouTube's algorithm is recommending right-wing political content as well as Christian-themed videos to people that have never interacted with that kind of content before, showing a clear bias in the recommendation algorithm towards that kind of content. So this is according to a recent study of the platform's suggestions to users. Now, before I get into the details, first off, I'm not exactly surprised, and you shouldn't be either, but it goes from being unsurprised to being completely infuriated after you hear the details. Now, the study was just one piece of a 4-part research project conducted by the London-based nonprofit organization that researches extremism called the Institute for Strategic Dialogue.
So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty clear to anybody that pays attention that, oh yeah, no problem, man. And it's like this guy is kind of, he talks about it. He's kind of a victim of the way the algorithm operates. It does suppress guys like this. It's kind of crazy. It's YouTube is favorable to legacy mainstream corporate media first, but then second would be like independent right-wing media gets pushed a lot. It's harder to just see a guy like this out in the wild, even though he's got a substantial little following. He's not huge, but he's consistent. He makes consistently, good left progressive news content. But yeah, it's the stuff that gets kind of suppressed by the algorithm. Whether or not that's by design, I don't know. But it's by design in the sense that the algorithm operates based on outrage, engagement. Speaking of engagement, guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't liked the stream, please do like the stream. And yeah, if you're watching and you think that everything I'm saying is stupid and bad, please down vote the stream, like it, downvote it, man. Leave a comment telling me how stupid I am. I love that shit. Love it. Actually have a clip here that is relevant.
Runs by engagement. So I'll give you an example of this, right? I have a short that a lot of people put negative comments on it. They're like, oh, negative comment, right? So here's the thing that's interesting. A downvote or an upvote both count as engagement. You don't care which one the person clicks, as long as they click one. You don't care what they're saying in the comment, as long as they leave a comment. So here's what I do. When someone leaves an overbearingly outrageous, obnoxious comment, there's two things that I'll do with this. Either I'll correct them, because they might just be wrong, or I delete the negative comment. Do you know why I delete the negative comment? Because then they come back and they go, this guy deletes comments. I farm you twice. Double engagement.
I fucking love it. I farm you twice. Double engagement. I should just clip that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. I mean, okay, wow. Just on the principle of what? Time zones? The world is so big that sometimes it's night where it's day in other places? What's the principle here? I don't feel like I should be punished for that, but it's not really a punishment, so it doesn't matter. What's funny and kind of sad is chuds, they won't believe me. Like, I mean, I've said this before plenty of times now. I'm like, hey, engaging with my video in any way, shape, or form is beneficial to me, and then they're gonna, they'll still leave a comment telling me, this copy paste bullshit that I've heard a billion times before, because they just feel like they have to express that. I don't know. It makes them feel like people, I guess, like they're not empty husks of a human being who has no life or love in their vicinity. I don't know. The guy in the short is Pirate Software. He is apparently the he's apparently the son of the World of Warcraft guy from South Park. You guys remember the character, the World of Warcraft player that was killing everybody in was it Make Love Not Warcraft was the name of that episode, I think. What up, Low Watermark? How's it going, man? Should get you on here to chat sometime, dude. If you're available, I don't know, tonight, you're welcome. Yeah, it is. It is kind of like that, right? Anyways, so, oh, by the way, I keep meaning to point this out whenever I promote the new shop, but it was 14 days whenever I launched the shop. Now there's not 14 days left anymore, but there's still several days left where you can get a considerable, discount on the shop. Got some new designs gone up. And just to kind of give you an idea of what the revenue for this is, because I like to be transparent. I've sold one item so far, and that was to, I believe, a comedian, Dean Page. Got a Mindful AF hoodie, and that's like $40-something or whatever. And then apparently I'm getting $12 on that, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna complain about that $12, but that's the kind of stuff that I'm hoping to, see happen more often, so that I can start doing stuff like paying Morgan for, being such really, for in a lot of ways, just the main host of Fapcast, and I'm just kind of the support host. And then, also maybe an editor at some point would be great. Yes, I think you were one that was asking about merch, weren't you? Yes. And several people ask. It's kind of weird that, like, in the last couple of months, I've gotten several people mention it. But there is a discount. I forget what it is exactly. We can go check it out right now. Whoops. Not the dashboard. That's not what we want to do. Okay, so it is 5 days left. You get 25% off, guys. That's fucking incredible. Fucking incredible. So you go to actual-fandom.myspreadshop.com. You hit that, and I imagine it's going to give you that 25% for whatever you get. Shop now. You don't mind if I do. You've got, and by the way, all these designs are by me. If it's a design that is based on something, it's obviously attributing that thing and credit to that original design. However, I am the one who adapted it. This one, for example, pretty proud of that one. Love it. I think I'm going to get me one of these hats when I get paid. It's kind of cool. Might get me a onesie, Whoops, shit. We got Krakoa Pride. AF is and fun. That's what your students told you when asked why they were using it. That's great. That's great. A Gordy Shrine. Well, I think I might have already uploaded a design with some Gordy on it. We'll have to see. So here's this one. Look at that. That's pretty cool, man. You could have me on you. Don't you want me on you? We got the Battle Damaged AF. We got the ESRB Fapcast logo. So in case you can't read that, it says A for asinine, and then it says here in small print, Call of Duty and Halo are rated the same thing. What the fuck? And then down here it says content critical of the ESRB and other regulatory bodies. Oh yeah, Pride hat. I mean, pretty much everything, every design has, they have like 100 and something products that they will print it on. So there's no shortage of types of product. Obviously, a bunch of shirts and sweaters and hoodies and stuff like that. But they got leggings, hat, cups, mugs, sticker, all kinds of shit. And then here is you got Praise Bill. I feel like this is probably one that people have asked about the most. Praise him. Praise that guy. Praise that dude. We got what else? Oh, we got the not battle damaged AF here. And then I'm actually I tweaked this one a bit because this was not. It was kind of it's hit me wrong. I'm like, man, this is not the best it could be. And so I kind of I really started it all over from scratch and redid it. If you're not familiar with what this is, it is the 90s Marvel logo, which is just objectively the best one, right? But I can show you the new version in a second. But if you do decide that you like this one, I would say don't buy it until tomorrow, right? Because I'm gonna get off of here today, and then I'm gonna upload the new version that's even better than this, and get rid of this version. And then you got the Mindful AF, which is the one that Dean got, I believe, right? And you know what? Fuck it. I'll show you the other designs that I haven't actually launched yet. One second. Let's do this. Signing in. You guys can't see my password. That would be kind of crappy. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. And so one of these, I got to get with you, Lucifer, writing on how you want to do this, because here's one that I was thinking about launching. That is your design, actually. So I don't know how you want to do that. We can talk about it. If you might not want me to do it at all. I'm going to do the Mindful AF logo there. And then here is the new version of the 90s logo. I think that is objectively better than the other. We're also going to have, the red and white version. Then we're also going to have, I don't know what I was going to do with that. Was I going to do a sticker? And then old goat face. Got to do old goat face. And then here's the thing. Shillcast. AF man, I guess is what his name would be. There you go. So got some more designs going in there. Whoa, holy shit, dude. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Fuck yeah. And you got 25% off. So that's pretty rad. 5 more days to get 25% off. Look, Gordy's an asshole. I don't need his consent for anything. He's the one being that I'm just like, fuck your consent, dude. I clean your shit. Look, if I have to clean your shit up on a daily basis, regular basis, your consent doesn't matter to me, okay? If you can worry about consent, you can worry about cleaning up your own shit box. That's my rule. Okay, guys. Yeah. If you want me to do a Gordy, like just Gordy, we could do that, I guess. I could do Gord Lactus. I really want to do an image of Gordy with like Galactus's helmet on. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. I'm gonna make a Gord Lactus. All right, folks. It's going to be 8:05 p.m. tonight. Obviously p.m., right? So what time is it now? 4 hours from now. We're going to be doing that dang old thing, the chud business. Talking about it. Madam and bitch, man. Madam and bitch. I thought about putting that in the title, and I'm like, nah. It's immature, right? That's juvenile. Don't need to do that. Don't need to call him madam and bitch. Although I guess I'm doing that right now, huh? Oh, whoopsie. Whoopsie doo. How about that? That would be pretty fun. Check out another couple of minutes of this while I pull up one more thing.
Like, I'm gonna give this one a pass, just like
because I don't know what's being said.
I don't know what's being said, but like
it's probably something stupid and shitty.
It's probably something stupid and shitty. He's already like, I don't need to. I can give him a homie pass on that one because he's already fucking garbage.
Well, so for anybody's wondering why I called him the bizarro pillar of garbage, let me read this post here. So, this post here says there's also some delightful backpedaling going on in his own replies. Bro went from BLM invented slavery to, of course they have genuine qualms. And that is by one pillar of garbage, who went on to say, generic soft touch anti-fan with more subs than all of us put together, but the twist is he's British and pretends to be all pretentious. Basically, he's bizarro me. So
yeah, because Pillar's got a lot of class, and this guy has whatever the fuck opposite of that is. Like, what the fuck is?
So yeah, I mean, just thanks to Pillar Garbage for the analysis and the being able, you basically said here, use this. This is for you. You can call him this on your stream. And I'm like, I'm going to. That's what I heard you say, Pillar, and that's what I did.
He's just like, if I was gonna make a parody of a British racist who was about my age, this is the guy I would make, right? Like, down to the turtleneck and the shitty blazer.
Yeah. And this is the image you get for that, by the way. Look, I'm not like a great artist. I can figure out how to do things. Like, I don't know how to get rid of the wine glass in the original image and without like destroying part of the torso that I'd have to fill in.
Sure.
So I was thinking, what do I use that's big enough to cover the whole thing? Well, big jar. Well, what's in the big jar? I don't know.
Urine. Yeah.
Well,
that's where he's getting his piss takes from. So
exactly. And well, I mean, some spilled out clearly onto his turtleneck there. And of course, rather than the cigarette that he thinks apparently is cool to have your avatar smoking, you're just holding a big fucking L, dude.
He took his L. He needs the calipers to start measuring skulls. Doing
and then also
shit.
One last thing here. If you remember the other day, I at the end of the Shillcast, I tried to promote a Spider-Man and masculinity video, and I failed on that because I did not have the channel name offhand. This channel, videos on masculinity and philosophy, but like this is the good kind, okay, the rare kind, but the good kind. I've seen the Hulk and masculinity one. It's very good. And then I've, watched about that much of this one. But I could tell already that's going to be very good. No, I actually saw his Wolverine one as well. That's right. I've seen his Wolverine and masculinity. Yes. Very fucking good. Very fucking good. So yeah, any of you guys that are like trying to understand what masculinity should be in an era where people are trying to tell you that the left hates masculinity and they want everybody to be all effeminate, which is just not true, man. Like, it's just not. These people don't understand what the adjective toxic means and how that, applies to the word that comes after it, I guess. I don't know. Nonetheless, you should check that out. Yeah, it's almost like, that these things, yeah. Well, check out a little bit of this real quick, because I want to sell you on it. I want you guys to go give them some subs. And this is, oh, that's not the right one. This one.
Masculinity. Can you be big and muscular, but lack assertiveness and charisma, and still be considered masculine? On the other hand, can you be assertive and charismatic, but lack physical prowess, and still be considered masculine? Is masculinity on a spectrum? When you think of Spider-Man, specifically the mainstream Peter Parker incarnation, masculinity is probably not the first thing that comes to your mind. Apart from the 90s animated series, where Spider-Man was juiced the fuck out, most depictions of the character have him looking like a twink, and his personality isn't really considered stereotypically masculine. He's constantly cracking jokes, even when fighting criminals.
You can call me webhead, you can call me amazing, just don't call me late for dinner, you get it?
And he isn't necessarily the most intimidating character.
So yeah, check him out, and please like and subscribe if you're not already, and then hopefully I'll see you guys back, unless it's 5 a.m. for you. Then look, I don't blame you for not being here, but yeah, I hope you're here at 8 p.m. for, really honestly, this is going to be the best Chud coverage I've done solo in quite some time. I believe that. I've got some good info. I've got some good perspective from, like I said, is, you know, kind of guy that used to be up in that group, in that community and whatnot, and it's going to be good. Yeah. Hey, you're all lovely people. Got some other cool stuff coming up pretty soon. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit more tonight. It's kind of cool. I'll say this. It's an update. The next step of the other Comic-Con video. How about that? That's what I'll say. Anyway, peace. And this is important, okay? Like, it's pretty important. If you don't take anything else from tonight, if you don't remember anything else, I need you to remember this. I need you to remember it, okay? You ready? The female version of Dick Grayson is Pussy Gray Daughter. Okay? Drink it in. Yeah. Absorb it. Let it wash over you. Okay. As long as we're on the same page.
For the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit. Not gonna be a whore, Frank.
You're already a whore. Why not make some money at it?
Let's fucking go.
Don't think, act.
You can't see my penis, man.
I said give me dong, or give me death.
If I were a man, if I were a wealthy man,